Admiral Zexithara gazed through the viewport of his flagship, the Void Render, at the blue marble suspended in the darkness ahead. Earth. The birth world of the species that had somehow managed to spread across 17 star systems in less than 2 centuries. The humans had been remarkably efficient for such a young civilization, but their expansion ended today. "Deploy the encirclement formation," Zexithara commanded, his chitinous fingers drumming against the command console. "Standard siege protocol. They'll surrender within the cycle once they realize the futility of resistance." The hegemony fleet moved with practiced precision. 3,000 vessels arranged themselves in perfect spherical formation around Earth's orbital space, their combined firepower capable of cracking continents. It was the largest fleet ever assembled by the galactic hegemony, a show of force that had brought dozens of worlds to their knees without firing a shot. "Sir," Communications Officer Veltar reported, "we're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface." "Put it through," Zexithara said, straightening his ceremonial armor. He expected to see a trembling human leader, perhaps their president or military commander, ready to negotiate terms of surrender. Instead, a middle-aged human woman appeared on the holographic display, wearing what appeared to be civilian clothing. She was smiling. "Greetings, Admiral Zexithara of the Galactic Hegemony," she said pleasantly. "I'm Director Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Coordination Office. We've been expecting you." Zexithara's mandibles clicked in irritation. "I am Admiral Zexithara, First Claw of the—" "Yes, we know who you are," Director Chen interrupted. "We've been monitoring your fleet's approach for the past 6 months. Impressive formation, by the way. Your tactical efficiency is precisely what our projections indicated." "Then you understand the futility of resistance," Zexithara replied. "Surrender now, and your species will be granted servant status within the hegemony. Refuse and face extinction." Director Chen's smile widened. "Oh, Admiral, I think there's been a misunderstanding. We're not planning to resist your fleet." Zexithara blinked his compound eyes. In his 3 centuries of military service, no species had ever responded quite like this. "You surrender?" "Not exactly," Chen said, checking what appeared to be a primitive timepiece on her wrist. "You see, Admiral, while your intelligence network is quite good at tracking surface activities and space-based movements, you've overlooked something rather important about human nature." "And what might that be?" Zexithara asked, though something cold was beginning to form in his stomach. "We're really good at digging." Before Zexithara could respond, his sensor operator's panicked voice cut through the bridge. "Admiral, massive energy signatures emerging from the planetary surface. Unknown vessels rising from underground." The main display shifted to tactical overview, and Zexithara watched in growing horror as hundreds then thousands of ships erupted from concealed silos across Earth's continents. They weren't the sleek, efficient vessels typical of spacefaring civilizations. These ships were brutal, angular things that looked like they'd been designed by someone who viewed space combat as a form of personal insult. "For the past 200 years, Director Chen continued conversationally, every human colony ship, every mining operation, every deep space mission has included one specific mandate: dig deeper than anyone thinks necessary, and hide more firepower than anyone thinks reasonable. The human ships were arranging themselves in a formation that Zexithara recognized with dawning dread. It was a perfect inverse of his own fleet's positioning. While the hegemony forces surrounded Earth from the outside, the human vessels had emerged to surround the hegemony fleet from within. "You're surrounded, Admiral," Chen said, her pleasant tone unchanged. "Every one of your ships has approximately 15 human vessels positioned beneath it. And unlike your beautiful, efficient hegemony ships, ours were built by a species that spent most of its evolutionary history assuming everything was trying to kill it." Tactical displays across Zexithara's bridge lit up with threat assessments. The human vessels were smaller than hegemony ships, but they were bristling with weapon systems that defied conventional military doctrine: missiles, kinetic impactors, directed energy weapons, and several weapon signatures that the ship's computers couldn't even classify. "This is impossible," Zexithara breathed. "Our reconnaissance showed no indication of such a fleet." "That's because they weren't in space," Chen replied. "They were in the ground, buried under mountains, hidden in ocean trenches, concealed in lunar caverns. We spent 2 centuries preparing for this moment, Admiral. Every human in every colony has grown up with one absolute certainty. Someday, Someone bigger and stronger would come to take what we'd built. Your weapons cannot possibly match our technology, Zexathera protested, though his voice lacked its earlier conviction. Director Chen's expression grew almost pitying. Admiral, our weapons weren't designed to match your technology. They were designed by a species that had to kill everything from saber-toothed tigers to each other, just to survive long enough to reach the stars. We don't fight fair, we don't fight efficiently, and we absolutely do not fight according to galactic conventions. As if summoned by her words, the human fleet powered up their weapon systems. The energy readings made Zexathera's scales crawl. These weren't precision instruments of warfare. They were the tools of a species that had weaponized paranoia. You have two options, Admiral, Chen said. You can order your fleet to withdraw beyond the outer planetary limit and forget you ever found us. Or you can find out why the last 12 species that tried to invade human space are now extinct. Zexathera looked at the tactical display one more time. 3,000 hegemony vessels, surrounded by nearly 50,000 human ships that had emerged from the planet itself, like some nightmare made manifest. Ships designed not by military theorists, but by the descendants of persistence hunters who had chased their prey across continents. Signal the fleet, he said quietly. Full withdrawal to the edge of the system. A wise choice, Admiral, Director Chen said. Oh, and Admiral, next time you're considering invading someone's home, you might want to remember that humans have been practicing for this conversation since we learned to sharpen sticks. Have a pleasant journey. The transmission ended, leaving Zexathera staring at the tactical display as his mighty fleet began its retreat. Behind them, the human vessels descended back toward their planet, disappearing once again into the depths of the world that had birthed them. As the Void Render engaged its faster-than-light drive, Zexathera made a mental note to update the Galactic Hegemony's database. Next to the entry for Homo sapiens, he would add a single word: avoid. In the depths of Earth, humanity settled back into its tunnels and prepared for the next visitors. After all, the galaxy was a big place and humans had plenty more digging to do.